Okay, can everyone hear me? So, welcome, Mr. Consequence.
Thank you, bro.
Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so I'm just adjusting one or two things. What did I didn't even. I just touching so many things. Uh, let's see. Let's get this right. Okay, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Let me take this one out.
Just some fainted echo, like
Therefore, I'm
feedback.
trying to deal with. Okay, done.
Good now.
Yeah. So, good day, everyone. I used my fanfare intro for the first time after a long time. How are you all doing? I'm having I was having slight technical problems, but I've sorted it out now. So, how are you all doing? You're welcome to today's show. Uh, okay, good. Oh, Kaz is okay. Kaz, you can hop in, if you're watching. Okay, so while we wait for the others, let's just okay. So today's subject, as we all know, today's title, as we all know, is going to be vetting before marriage. So this title was suggested from last week after what we did last week, talking about relationships from the perspective of arranged marriages. So we decided that we are going to look into the concept of. Oh, this light is blinding me. Yeah, good, better. So we decided we're going to look into the concept of. Um, you won't believe what is going on. So we decided that we're going to look into the concept of arranged marriage, vetting before marriages. What do you think about it? Do you? Uh, we are going to share our opinions. And sorry, something funny is going on here. Okay, it's fine. I'll sort it out now. So we just want to share our opinions about these things about vetting before marriages. We oftentimes we see people getting divorced. In fact, it's at an all-time high now. And when this happens, and you try to find out from one party what really happened, everybody is coming up with their own reasons, and it makes it difficult to even understand where this problem is coming from. I have an idea of where the problem is coming from because the way we choose partners these days, it's really, really ridiculous. Like you begin to wonder whether we are joking with our lives or we're joking with our future. I just don't understand how we operate these days. But I think there are better ways to do these things instead of just walking out in the street, seeing somebody and say, I fell in love and love at first sight. And I don't know who invented that phrase, but as cliche as it might sound, that's what's in vogue now. People want to fall in love at first sight, get married, and live uh, happily ever after. So while we wait for the rest, I'll give you the floor. Uh, it's the consequence to start off. Then, as the other panelists come in, people don't keep to time. As the other panelists show up, we'll try and incorporate their opinions. So, let's go, Mr. Kelly. Oh, Mr.
Hello,
Consi.
everyone. Shabbat shalom.
I might be
Yeah.
rolling. I might be rolling in a few minutes. Just keep talking. I'm trying to. My internet, I don't know, it acts funny. I'm trying to restart the router. So just keep
Do you
talking.
want me to wait for you to do that instead?
Sorry?
Do you want me to wait for you to do that?
No, keep talking while I do the technical behind
Ah,
it.
no problem. Anyway, I think it's pretty simple the way I say it, right? I think vetting is necessary because why? Because marriage is a long-term commitment. It is so much that goes into marriage. It is too much investment, okay, that goes into marriage for one to not vet their partners as much as possible. And why is this vetting necessary? To be sure that this commitment, this investment that you're making is one that would serve, okay, is one that would serve. This is why vetting is necessary because when you are a wise way of doing business is to properly investigate the business and be sure that this is a business that you understand or you're willing to commit to. Some business would not instantaneously give you profits. Some business are long term, okay, but you understand the progress and the process is clear to you. You understand what to endure, you understand what to deal with, how to manage it. These are some of the wise things to do when you're committing into any business. Some business are for there. Some business are not even for you. They are for your children to come. Do you understand? But you understand that though this business is not for you, you can still vet the process. You can understand the process. You can deal with it. You can endure the process because you know what to expect in the long run. This is what we do in business typically. Now, if we can do this in business because we want to be wise, then the same approach can be redacted to, can be adopted to how we go into marriage, which is vet your partner. All right. I've said this a few times on my Instagram, like myself personally. I have my do's, my don'ts, and then uh, my compromise. Okay, I don't know if it was compromise the word that I used. I have my do's, my don'ts, and my adjustables. Yeah. Okay, I have my do's. Okay, this is like absolute yes for me. This absolute no for me. This I can adjust because at the end of the day, human being can be flexible sometimes, and then you know you adjust for your own self. So you should expect to be able to adjust for your partner. But adjusting for your partner does not mean showing some certain caution away entirely. So I have that in the process of how I choose a partner. All right. When it comes to me making up my mind that I want to choose a partner, there's certain things that I'm looking into. I have things that are absolute do for me. Like these are things that yes. Then these are things that I know. These I can adjust. Do you understand? These are all part of vetting. All right. Um, like I said, for instance, I've said this a few times. People laugh whenever I say it, but I take it very seriously. The way you see gender issues, for instance, all right, plays a role in how I pick my partner. For instance, if you're thinking that if I'm going to marry a woman and then she's still of that thought that there are, or she belongs to that school of thoughts rather, that there are uh, quintillion genders out there. I'm not about to deal with that. You know why? Because I want to raise my child. If my child is a male, then he's a boy to become a man. If my child is a female, she's a girl to become a woman. Clear. I don't want to deal with. He's playing with Barbie doll. Therefore, maybe he's a woman. No, I don't want to deal with that. And why do I have to clarify that before going into a relationship? Is because when you go into marriage with your partner, understand that they are not slaves. They also have a say. Now, imagine that you get married to someone who believes in, who subscribe to this, who are there of gender fluidity and whatnot. And then now you have a child and you have to start arguing one of the very basic or fundamental aspect of raising a child. I don't want to deal with those things. These are part of the vetting. You see, that part for me is an absolute no. I'm not negotiating it with any woman. My concept is very simple: a man and a woman. So yes, so and I have the ones that I can adjust. For instance, right? I have the part that I can adjust, right? It might even be. Let me give you something as simple as You're marrying someone who is a drinker or a smoker. You might choose to not marry someone who drinks. You might choose to, or you might choose to adjust and be like, okay, if he is drinking moderately, perhaps I can deal with that. These are some of the things that we can take. Oh, you are marrying someone who enjoys going to party, cannot do without going to club. Okay, cannot do without going to club. Okay, can you deal with that? If you cannot deal with it, think about it. If it is what you can adjust, think about it. So these are just part of vetting. And you might think these things are small. They are usually small until you get into marriage. You have to actually know yourself and know what it is that you can deal with. Okay, so me, I have things that I cannot deal with. You should have yours too. All right, you should have those that you can adjust to. Okay, you should have those that you can adjust to, and have those that you are not going to negotiate. Like me, for instance, I want to be with a woman who, let me look for a very simple word, because these days on social media, people will just take your word and blow it out of proportion easily. I would want for me a woman who is a little bit who is traditional, sorry, not even a little bit, who is very traditional. I believe in a very traditional approach to marriage. I want me a woman who is emotionally intelligent. I want a woman who I can have tough conversation with. I want a woman, for instance, who understands how to de-escalate issues, because issues will arrive in marriage. So these are just part of the vetting. Okay, I cannot, for instance, deal with a woman who I know has potential to push me off the edge to the point where I might be tempted to get violent. If I see that these are the things with you, right, I'll remove myself from the picture. Okay, I don't like little unnecessary issues too. All those petty issues. I'm not afraid of disagreement. I'm not afraid of conflicts. Conflict will happen in relationship. They're actually healthy if you know how to fix them. But you see all those little petty here and there, ma'am, unnecessary issue, then you escalate it and you think after that we settle it real quick, and one day we're going to have to get tired of settling little issues, and then little issue will become big issue. These are all part of vetting, knowing who it is that you're committing your life to, because your life in itself is one of the greatest investments that you can give, even more than money. So whenever you are committing to someone, okay, it is wise that you vet who you are committing to. And what do you expect from the vetting? What is this lifestyle that I can deal with? The one that I cannot deal with, and the one that I can adjust to. So that is what vetting should be. And I believe it is very necessary.
Are
Mr.
you
Ron,
done?
you're muted. Yes, for now, please.
Oh, okay. It's interesting that you brought. I like where you started from, because oftentimes people don't understand that you have to watch out for the signs and body language, all these subtle nuances that people have. They are really very important, because there's this foolish assumption that once you marry someone, you change the person, that you can change people after marriage, and this is what leads to disaster in most cases. This is exactly what leads to, oh, Binta is here. Okay, Binta, log in with the second link. So, and this is what brings about disaster. You see, you're a traditional man, and you see a lady who is not, so she's modern, and you feel that's the one you want to keep in the house, you want to marry as a wife and all that. Then you feel that maybe she'll conform with your regime or whatever it is you believe in. That, to me, that's foolishness. She's at the core of it. Everybody is who they are, and they are never, ever, ever going to change. They really would not. Oh, let me bring in Binta. Hey, welcome in, Binta.
Hi,
Nice,
Winter.
nice.
Hi, sweetie. Hello, everyone. How are you?
I'm
I'm good.
fine. Waiting for Cass. I don't know what Cass is waiting for. So, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, James. This is Valga. I need to greet him properly. Wait. Ah, okay, he's still rolling. So all this, I don't believe you can change anybody. Sometimes I hang out with my old boys from secondary school. We talk, and the more you speak with them, the more you realize that even no matter how refined they are still who they are. Like you've known them all these years. Like they still have those little traits after almost 25, 27 years. They still have those traits in them. So I don't believe that. So my own belief is this: look for people you can pair with or people you can navigate with, because it's crazy if you're a traditional man and you see a lady who says she's a feminist, and that's the one you saw and said you marry. That's a recipe for disaster. It most cases doesn't work. It hardly works. So okay, before I pass it on to Bintan, please, if you are watching, hit the like button. It's free. Just don't worry. Hit the like buttons. As we proceed, just keep leaving your comments. We'll address them one after the other. We're all participating in this thing. It's not just us. We want to hear from you. We want to learn from you too. So hit the like button. Share the YouTube live everywhere so that people can participate and all that. So, Madam Binta.
So can we do the intro to the subject?
Yeah, we already did. What
Oh,
do
I
you look
missed
out
that.
for? Okay, yeah. Okay, so let me summarize. So we're trying to understand what a couple intending to marry, whether through courtship, dating, betrothed, whatever language you want to use, what you should look out for before taking the final step and signing the paper and saying I do, or traditionally saying I do. What should you look out for? What are the red flags you should look out for? Because like we've acknowledged before you came, that these are the things that leads to calamity eventually in the marriage today. So what are we looking out for? So that's just the summary of the whole list, so you can just throw in.
I think that we all have to know our standards, our our own codes, or our moral codes, our moral principles, and all of that. We for ourselves have to know, because many times, and as a woman, I know women are capable of concealing and hiding who they truly are, and it's not until how many years into the situation before the
Let
man.
me round of applause. Welcome, Buki.
Thank
I
you, everyone.
find
Thank you.
out, who you are. I mean, sometimes you have to go, uh both parties, you have to do your own investigations, and don't always take what the person says to be the truth or facts. you know Everybody has to know how they do their own findings. um Red flags are always when a person says they're this way, they're that way, this is what their expectations are, they don't expect this from you or whatever, and then you find out that what they're saying is completely different to what they're doing. And it's only time is a revealer of all things. First of all, I know you have to like the person to even, the days of, yeah. Did somebody call me?
So my this person.
Oh, should I go on, or am I being in? Oh, okay. So gone are the days of arranged marriages. Not that it doesn't happen anymore, but it's fast fading, where the families are the ones who would do the background investigation, vet the person, find out about their family tree, the history, and all of that. So it's really, the burden is really on us now, you know, as best as we can. And trying to find things in common. When they say don't be unequally yoked, people just think that it's all to do with religion. I have seen people that are married to a spouse who is not the same religious. It helps a lot. Believe me, being in one accord helps a lot. But I've also seen successful marriages where one is married to a non-believer or whatever the case may be. But having a lot in your values have to be in line, you know, and also the expectations of what are your expectations in the marriage. Why are you even going into the marriage? Because so often it's, I love you, oh God, I can't do without you, I love you so much, I want to wake up with that, with you, blah blah blah. And then you start to live together and it's like, why are you chewing your food this way? Why do you have to get out of the bed? Everything begins to irritate you. So you have to have also tolerance. And what is it that you can tolerate, you know? Because most of the time women are emotional creatures, men are very logical. So it's more than just the I love you, the feel good. Let's get past the feel good and see if we have a lot more in common with each other to take. Yeah, we're talking about a life together, the rest of your life together with this person is not, you know when the marriage is over, too many people concentrate on the day, wanting that day to be special, that day to be talked about in town. They spend months or even up to a year planning this one day instead of concentrating on the days after that, our life together. You know, are your morals and your values and your principles when I'm raising a kid, the way your mother and father raised you is different to the way your husband's family raised you. Then you begin to clash when you're raising the kids. You have to make sure that most things, not everything, can be in one accord, but most things. I always say let's all be in the same book. We may not necessarily be on the same page all the time, but as long as we're in that same book, we're good. We can make it.
Sorry. Okay, okay, James. Just the fan. Switch off the fan. The fan is getting to your microphone. Okay, continue, Sandra.
Yeah, well, that's my little put. We can let
Oh,
somebody
okay,
else
fine.
chime in.
I like. You know what? There are some things you even said. Okay, I was planning on saying them later in the show, but let me allow
Sorry,
Buki. Buki has been waiting, so let's hear what she has to say.
I think she's
Bukola.
muted.
Oh, Bukola. Hello, Buki.
Let me send her a quick text.
Okay, please do. Okay, okay, James, are you ready? While we wait for Buki, let me unmute him. 1 second. I think. Okay, yes, I can. It's moving now.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, you are better
Okay,
now.
so
Yeah, well,
vetting before
yes, sir.
We're waiting for you to come on. He was calling you.
okay.
Okay, so go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I was having technical difficulties here. Yeah,
Everywhere.
so vetting before marriage, I am 100% for it. And finding out things that could affect the
Affects
marriage
the marriage
5, 10, or
5,
even
10.
20 years into the marriage. It- There are things that if some kind of vetting and investigation had taken place before the marriage, these things would happen. One of them, for instance, is history of mental health. I think in Igbo land, this is a very, very serious issue. And if there's any history of mental health in the family, in some societies, they won't let it take place. The reason, the importance of vetting has to do with drug-related issues. There are a lot of couples who go into marriage not knowing is into. It's only after the marriage that if there had been some kind of vetting. And in my part of the world, in northern Nigeria, the drug menace calls for very, very, very serious vetting. I know instances where it's been fatal. I know about two one spouse has stabbed the other after being high on drugs. So I really support it. I think that and vetting should be done not by the spouses, not by the intending couple,
Of course not.
but trying to find out. For instance, recently I heard someone say that if a lady wants to marry, she if a lady wants to get married, her family should go and find out where the prospective husband lived as a bachelor. They will hear a lot of things. They will find out a lot of things. Some may not be things that will necessitate the marriage being called off, but some are key because they are life and death issues. So means I'm for vetting before marriage. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thanks a lot, sir. I really appreciate your contribution. Even though the network was trying to wave up and in and out, but we managed to catch the gist of the whole.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you, sir. We can hear you. We heard you very well, sir. We heard you, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. We really appreciate. Is Bukola there now? Are you ready?
I'm
I
here.
can't hear you.
Okay. Okay. So go ahead, Bukola.
Okay, good morning, everyone. So I'm trying to get the message or what we're speaking on, and I see that it's vetting. I'm sorry, my
Okay.
camera will be off for now. I'll be back later.
Okay.
So, to me, vetting simply
You
means
know why I'm happy you're here. You know you've treated this matter on your platform before. You treated this subject before.
oh, okay. I think I think I have. I'm
You
trying
even
to.
made a post recently about it, so I want you to talk
Oh,
about
okay.
it.
Okay. I make daily posts. Anyway, so vetting is just taking your time to know the person that you're getting married to. You are assessing compatibility in different situations, different levels, while keeping your goals in mind. I know growing up, maybe let me use the word in the olden days, people would go as far as sending someone to the neighborhood to see who the families are, to see what they do. And some of our parents, we even go, They would, go to the family, ask questions, dig deeper about the backgrounds of this person they are getting married to, and all of those things. But in reality, in this age that we are in right now, some vetting uh might not be realistic here. Because if we are to vet into the extended family, the history of the extended family, blah, 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 marriage would never happen. Marriage would never happen because you're going to see a lot of things. An extended family committed suicide. Are you going to bring that into your own relationship and say, oh, somebody in your uncle maybe 20 years ago committed suicide, and because of that, because I don't want this to instead into the family, or an extended family maybe is into
I don't think
drugs, and
I
because
don't think it's that stringent. I think the only time it becomes an issue
yeah.
is when it crosses over generation to generation. Not that one person did something, then
Even
you.
if it crosses from generation to generation, are you saying, okay, maybe after giving birth in their family, because we have this is realistic, right? We have this in the family that some people, after their babies, they literally go into depression, and some of them they become, bipolar. We have cases like that, on and off, maybe 7 months after, then they get better. So if we have such a situation, marriage would never happen.
I
Because
think
you don't want to have your baby and you go into depression, and after depression, you start experiencing bipolar for 1 year or for 2 months. Marriage would never.
I think there's a medical term for it now. When there's some ladies
It's
when they give birth.
postpartum, but
Yeah,
it's not always
I think
postpartum
it's
depression.
yeah, I think it's considered in society now. They consider it now. It's not a red flag per se. It's something we
It is
know.
a red flag for some people, because some people literally go mad, not just the depression.
Mm, okay, finish. Let me know. Okay.
Yeah, so not just the depression. All I'm saying is, to me, as much as we want to dig deeper into what has happened in the extended family, or what is happening, or what is obtainable around them, what their norms, their morality is, and all of those things, I still believe is between you and the person that you're dealing with. We've had people who got married into a notorious family, and then they chose to be out of that thing, like they're intentional about their relationship, and they are still together and they are still making it work. I want to believe that as much as we need our families to go and do all of the findings, we also need to understand that it is between you and me, and not, Yoruba we say we need families around, blah blah blah, which is true. I embrace that too. I understand that we need to vet. I'm just saying some of these vetting are not realistic when we come to when we want to really talk about marriages, because it will not work. If you want to deal with every issues that happened in my own forefathers' house, now I will not be married to my husband. That's the truth. So they are idolaters. They do all sort of things. If he wants to go back to my village and start finding all of those things together, I'm sure he will not marry me. But the truth is, I'm not practicing all of those things that they practiced. This is Bukola. This is me. So if you want to deal with vetting at all levels, extended, forefathers, these and that, marriage will never happen. That's all I want to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Can I respond now, or does someone want to
You
tell
can.
me something? Oh, okay, okay. So, yeah, mute.
I
Sandra, you're mute.
just
Okay,
something briefly. To be honest
okay.
with you, what Buki is saying is true, especially in society today. It's impossible to go down. Hi. It's impossible to go generations down the line. But I think the immediate things that between each other you have to find out, and also you as much as you can on your own. And if there's anybody else that can give you clues or whatever, like I said earlier, you have to know how to navigate your inquiries and your investigation, because to some extent it's important to know if the way, especially the way the man was raised and the way the woman was raised, is going to come into the marriage, because That's how he knows how to do, how he was raised. And then let's say after leaving his parents' house, he's on his own, he's building his life, he's become who he is, he's coming to who he is. The same with the young lady if she's not coming out of a family home. Those things are going to clash at some point. And no, oh, I leave bacon in. I mean, these are minute things. It's not it takes a mature mind, and sometimes both of you have to mature into your relationship as well. But as you go along, your own personality clashes are going to happen. We all know that. But for women, if we do our findings and know there's madness in the family or there's this trait, I mean, for some women, that is honestly loading their gun that they can use to shoot him at some point, because some women are wired that way. So when they do all their findings and find all these things, they'll say, oh, I can live with it. But let there be an argument. They unleash all those things. Your family, you have this. That's why you're like this, things like that do take place. So, Mr. Ron, you have the floor, sir.
Oh, okay. So, okay. Let me. Do I listen to Wumi or I should just? Okay, Wumi, just give us your own view, then I'll respond to Obokola.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, I came on board late. I was occupied with something. But thank God I'm here.
Don't
Well,
worry.
I believe that no matter how much um, verifications you carry out before marriage, it still does not guarantee that you are going to have a successful marriage. That's the truth.
Yeah.
We have, you know, let me call from what we discussed last week. We have situations of marriages that were pre-arranged. It was just verifications that were done by third parties that they based that marriage on. And we have some of them that are successful. So that's to tell you that even if you run your own personal investigations and everything, it does not guarantee. But at the same time, I believe no matter how much we may say that verification doesn't really matter, it does matter, especially if you're making the decision personally. That is, if you get to meet someone and you are open to see maybe marriage could work out. There are some basic verifications or investigations you should carry out. Those ones are not negotiable. Aside from the normal characters that human beings, exhibits when you meet them, aside from normal characters, whether it is good or bad, everybody has their flaws. There are some basic um, investigations you should carry out. Number one, when it has reached, it might not really be number one, but I want to say this: when it has reached the level that you've met the family, you know a bit of the family history. Maybe you visited one or two of the relations. They've seen you. The kind of reception they give you, it matters a lot. If you meet someone's family for the first time, fine, it may be the first time. They may not, they're just meeting you. They may not really be that receptive. Maybe your intending spouse has not even said so much about you to them. He just wants to introduce you. So like we can still excuse that. But once you've gotten acquainted to some of the relatives, and then you've been meeting them at least not once, not twice, and then you start to see that there's a certain aura that you get whenever you are with them. Maybe they are not always that receptive to you. They may just be managing, the acceptance. They may not really be into you. If a family does not like you, it will go a long way to impact on your relationship with your intending spouse. It is very important. I have experienced this before, and that is why I am privy to this information. If you don't have a good connection and a good aura with your intending
Is it
in-laws.
now the family or the parents? Is it the family or the parents? To me, it should be the parents.
That's
Family.
what I mean is what I mean. Some people might not even have parents alive. It might be their relatives that are serving as their parents, and they are the ones that they will take you to as their family, as their relative. So that's what I'm saying. When I say family, it's actually people that are standing in as parents, because I think those are the ones that really, really matter when it comes to in-laws. Even though other family members too matter, it depends on your culture anyway. In Yoruba culture, they will tell you everybody is important. Even small baby that was born yesterday, some Yoruba cultures will tell you cannot call the baby by name. You have to put brother or sister or something like that. Different cultures. But what I'm saying is, if you don't have a good reception from the parent figure of your in-laws, it's going to go a long way in impacting your marriage. It will take a spouse, an intending spouse, let me say, that really wants to be with you no matter what, regardless of what, that is ready to defend you when problems occur with these in-laws. People that they don't like you before. If you now have issues, maybe small issues or something, and then your husband is not ready to defend you, or your wife is not ready to stand in the gap that no, this is my family, nobody should interfere and all that, it can impact how that relationship would go. But for people that already know what they want as intending spouse, they know what they want. They will
Arika,
not even care.
Arika, you're
Yeah.
saying that it will impact. That means if the spouse feels like they're standing alone against all these people.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay,
Yes, yeah.
for clarification.
So yeah. So if there's no support, if that's why I said in part of making your verifications, if you feel that the reception you are getting from your parents in-laws, if you feel that it is not adequate enough, and you feel that your spouse is not standing in the gap to protect and shield you, it may impact that relationship. Because the truth is, the relationship is actually between the two of you, but there's no way there will not be family interferences. You cannot do with that.
It depends on nobody wants interference, but I think it depends on the degree and what the woman terms or the man terms as interference. There are some people that
Okay.
are ultra sensitive, where the mother or father-in-law just say something or wonder about something, and because they've
And
spoken
they take
out,
it up.
it's
Yeah.
a big
Mm-hmm.
deal. So, and
Yeah.
that's why I say tolerance comes in, and everybody's level of tolerance is different. And
It's
you can make
different. Yeah.
every little comment, because even we make our own comments, where
Mm-hmm.
maybe our in-laws don't hear, but we have our own preconceived notions as to the in-laws as well. There are things about, nobody's going to like each other 100%. They
Of
always say
course.
the teeth and the tongue always clash, right?
Mm-hmm.
You bite your
Yeah.
tongue every now and again. That's how relationships are. But where do you draw the line? What is extreme? What
Yeah.
it's a mother-in-law or a father-in-law coming into the house and trying to rule and reign and
Mm-hmm.
decree. Now,
Exactly.
I mean, but other little things, if you're not ultra sensitive, in order not to have all this nonsense, weigh your marriage down. You could laugh it
Yeah.
off, play it off. But if they're insulting you as a person,
Yeah.
then
Those ones are not acceptable.
right. I mean, you
Mm,
draw the
mm.
line.
Yeah,
That's
they're not
your home.
acceptable.
Yes, they're not.
They're not acceptable.
What
And
do
then
Okay.
you say, Kelly?
Okay.
part of part
Continue.
of part of the investigations that one should carry out too, which is very, very important, I believe, is we are Africans. If we have some traditions that are being carried out in your spouse's family, and you need to let your spouse define his or her stand on those traditions. And if you're okay with your spouse's stand on those traditions, fine, you can go ahead with it. But if you believe personally you are not comfortable or okay with it, I have some friends that are married, Before they got married, the husband would have told them that in my family, when we have the firstborn son, we go for the naming ceremony at my father's residence, not in my house, not in our home. As a woman, if you feel, well, I don't feel, there's no big deal, nothing. Shebi is your father's residence. Shebi is just to go and do naming ceremony and come back. But some families go to the extent that they will tell you until the child is 41 days old, you cannot leave the father-in-law's house. You have to be there. We have different traditions. Some will tell you when we have our firstborn child, whether it's a male or a female, the first bath they have to give that child must be in the in-law's house, the father-in-law. They're crazy different. So when the spouses, if they know these things and they know their family does not joke with it, it is better you discuss it with your spouse. If the spouse now feels I am okay with it, no big deal. But if the spouse is not okay with it, it's better you discuss it, because those ones will cost.
Arika,
Yeah.
is this the reason why? Because some women, they don't care about the background. A king or a prince, like the Oni of Ife, can come and say, I like this woman, I want to marry her, whatever. She's concerned with being an Olori. She's concerned with being the queen and entering the palace and having that respect and that name going with her name, and the glitz, the glam, and all of that. And then she
Yeah.
enters now and sees all that she has to deal with, and then she jackpot, she runs.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Those are the things
It
you
becomes
need to know first. Are you going to be okay? Because you need to know them. If you don't
well.
know
That's
them,
how. That's how. It's difficult for men today. I'm sorry to say, because that's what they're dealing with. Very shallow-minded women who are just thinking about the here
the
and now
missing
and the
title, they just
glitz
want
and
to
the
change
glam,
name.
and wearing all the white lace
Yeah,
and then when you go in now, that you have to do some traditional rites and ritual, and then deal with
exactly.
all the craziness. And no, he may want 5 of his wives in the room at one time, and you think you are the one.
The only one, the preferred
Kelly,
one.
Abikilori, so Kelly that is trying to marry me or Lara and a bunch of us. I just want to know. Kelly, come forward because you're coming
Mr.
for me.
Unstoppable. What is this? That's his nickname.
I like the
I
family.
just,
What
I just
about
want to.
vetting
Kelly
between
go.
spouses?
Okay,
Because
hey, sorry.
I'm going to
Before
use
we go to Betty, sorry,
Bukola money for therapy. Okay.
sorry. Before we go on, if you're watching, please, I just checked the stats, so the likes are not up. Oh, click the likes; it's free. And I'm seeing on the stats here, I'm reading it. 70% of the people they are not even subscribed. What did I do to you now? Please subscribe.
Please hit the like button.
Subscribe.
Like and
Please click
prescribe.
and subscribe and click the
Sorry,
notification.
not prescribe.
Okay, so
Click
now
and
let me address Bukola's issue. Bukola, you see all those things you were throwing away and dismissing as if they are not important.
I never, no, I didn't throw anything away. I'm just telling you that if we have to go, if we have to go deeper, community searching, forefather searching, there will never be any marriage. That's what I'm
No,
telling you.
I don't think, like I told you in my marriage, right? Before I got married, I'm sure my wife's ancestors were pagans, just
Okay.
like my own ancestors were pagans. Okay, all Africans have, to a large degree, we have
Mhm.
this paganistic
background.
background.
Yep.
Ancestry.
I don't
Yeah.
think anybody coming from Africa, and you know why I call pagan, that you're not worshiping, no,
Any particular
Even
idol.
white
you're
people.
not worshiping from
Yeah.
Abrahamic religion. So if it's that one, don't worry yourself. That's not even the issue. The issue is not about what you were worshiping. I tell you, even from my mom's side and all that. So everybody has that, but that's not what the modern person is dealing with now. What we are dealing with now is, now let me be very sincere with you. I've said this on another live. I used to think it didn't matter if somebody came from a broken home, man or woman.
Mm.
what I've seen recently has proven me wrong. That
Hmm.
it is very, very, very important to vet from that direction, and this is why we all have to be careful. It doesn't take somebody who comes from a broken home 1 second to make that decision to bounce.
Hmm.
It doesn't, the person doesn't even need to consider it. It's not a big deal. After all, the person grew up in a single home, a single parenthood home. So if the person finds him or herself in that situation, don't. I'm not the first, so it's not a big deal. I'm not saying that they. I'm not saying that they don't last. So don't get me wrong, oh, they do last, but it's more likely. It's likelier for the person to bounce if the person is coming from that background, because it means nothing to the person, right? Now, on the other hand, we have to look at certain things. For instance, if you come to me and tell me that, oh, I love this guy, I love this girl, but the family doesn't like me, father, mother, sisters. In fact, let's not even count brothers, it's women in particular. Don't go into a family. If you're a woman, don't go into a family where the women don't like
Don't
you.
like you. Exactly.
You the misery
Hmm.
you go through. People who survived it, if they tell you their stories,
Hmm.
because a lot of people, I see this marriage, I keep telling young people that it's like a secret cult. Nobody will tell you anything until you enter inside.
Yes, so
Nobody will tell
yes.
you anything. Nobody's going to tell you. They'll be giving you surface advice. Surface advice. They're
Right.
not
Let
going
me say this. Let me say this, Chris. And the truth about this sibling bond is it is unbreakable. That is just the truth. Sibling bonds. See, if you come if you come close to it and you experience it live, you will now be like a total stranger among
let
them.
me give you an example. There was this. I'm not going to mention him. I don't like mentioning names. I had this friend. I've told this story before. I had this friend. Let's say his name is Mr. B. Right? I don't want to mention names. Mr. B. He's a weakling kind of person. He's a weakling kind of person. So one day, out of the blues, this girl fell in love with him, and
Hmm.
this lady, in a real society girl, like she tear eye past anybody, like she's a main happy socialite. She picked this guy and said that this is the one I want. This guy must marry me. So Mr. B carried this socialite to his family to go and marry. No, he decided they were going to see the family. Guess what the lady did? She took her time to investigate every single member of the family, every single member, everyone, even down to the house help. This woman went to
Uh-uh.
Dubai and shopped for every single one of them, up to the house
Baba.
help. Then arrived the house with suitcases. They said, hey, my love told me that I'm coming for introduction. This, oh boy. As she was talking, she was distributing gifts, everything. When she finished, she just knelt down in front of the father and mother. I said, I'm submitting myself to you. Anything. Before the woman even made her intent known or anything, before the guy was not the one talking. Guess what is happening in the marriage now? Anytime there's a family meeting, now if they are maybe there has to be a family meeting in the evening. The lady will leave whatever she's doing that day and arrive at the in-laws place first. Then the husband, where Sabi do Oyibo man work, will come late to the family. Then the whole family will start shouting, "Why did you come late? Can't you see our daughter is here?" Then when he is there, not only is he coming late, when he's there, it's only the woman's gist they want to listen to. And this is not a poor
Imagine.
this is not a
She
poor
bought
family.
she bought everybody over to herself right from day one.
Once this is not a poor family. You know what
Psychology,
she do?
psychology.
When she's doing the father will be like,
Sorry, Mr.
eh,
Ron, I
She
missed
got
out
them
on
good.
broken homes. You were
no,
talking
I'll
about
come back to it. I'll come back to it. So now when she's talking, you see them laughing, rolling on the floor. As soon as the husband tries to make a suggestion, you just say, oh God, what do you want to say? What do you want to say?
Can
What's so
you
important that
imagine?
you have to interrupt this gist now? Then you say something, then the father will say, is that all? Then the sister will say, Abajo, I thought you had something to say. I beg, then you'll face
So he
time.
has no say anymore.
No,
Imagine.
he didn't have a say from beginning.
She
And even
got
after
If
them.
marriage, he still does not have
He's
a say.
not,
Ah,
even with his
ah.
family members. That's terrible.
He still does not have a say. Why am I telling you this story? the story is that in as much as you have to be compatible with your future in-laws, don't go and marry a mama's boy or daddy's boy that cannot live with
Ah,
yourself. Oh.
I know, I
Yes,
know.
you need to distinguish between
What
somebody.
is wrong with marrying a mommy's boy?
Okay, what
Hey,
is wrong?
a lot is
Yes.
wrong.
You
You're
know
A
going
why?
to
lot is
Don't go.
wrong.
No. Listen to me. You know,
Hmm.
there is a perfect definition for mommy's boy and mommy's pet. It's two different things. Google will tell you that mommy's boy is a mom that is a boy that listens to his. No, there is a difference between you being a mommy's boy and you being a mommy's pet. I married a mommy's boy and I'm okay with it. But when you are a mommy's pet,
No wonder you defend it, sis.
no wonder if you're a mommy's boy, if you're a mommy's boy, you are just a boy who understands that your mom has labored for you. You understand who a woman is. You understand the value of a woman. And because you
Yes.
understand the value, it's going to
That is not
translate
it.
into your.
That is not it.
Listen,
That's
that's
not
what
what
Google will
we're
tell you. Allow me to finish, please. Allow me to
Okay.
finish.
Okay.
A mommy's boy just understands a woman. He knows how valuable a woman is, how a mother is, a mother who has labored for him, who has took very good care of him, who has sacrificed a lot for him. And
That's
you know
right.
what? If you marry a mommy's boy will treat you well
Just
as
like he
a
treats his
lady.
mom.
He
Oh,
will treat you well as a lady because he
please,
understands the
break down
sacrifices.
mommy's pet. Break down mommy's
Just
pet.
mommy's
the
pet.
pet.
A mommy's pet is what we are using as a mommy's boy. A mommy's pet is the one that will go and take permission from his mom even before he will come and toast you. A
Okay.
mommy's pet,
Okay, that's the difference.
it's
Okay.
different, but people
Okay.
always use everything as mommy's boy,
Okay,
mommy's boy.
okay.
Okay, mommy's
Let's
pet.
not. No.
Can you guys?
We'll rephrase everything
Yeah.
and we'll use the appropriate word according to Bukola. Okay, so don't go and marry a mommy's pet.
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
Don't go and marry a mommy's pet because
before he
you-
entered the room, he will say, "Is it okay?"
uh-huh,
Yeah.
because it's going
Before
to
he has
The more we
intimacy,
even
sexual
take, if you want to
intimacy
get married, the more
with
we
the
even want
wife,
to
he
tell
will
you that
take
it's too
permission
crowd
from
we
the
want.
mother.
It's too crowd we want.
Hey,
Is this thing we want? So those are mommy. But Google will tell you that mommy's boy is. I married a mommy's boy, and because I married a mommy's boy, I'm enjoying
Proudly
everything
so.
that a woman should
we're,
enjoy.
we're
I
rephrasing.
love cookies.
We're rephrasing it now.
So.
What
Let us
our
know,
intention,
sis. Let
my
us
intention for this
Mr. Kelly, we
analogy.
keep quiet like this and they
Sorry,
speak.
sorry.
Oh.
He will soon come. I'll tell you soon come. So my analogy
Mr. Consequence.
Ah,
okay, so my analogy was based on mommy's pet. So in
Mm.
trying to be compatible with your potential in-laws, do not
Mm-hmm.
go and fall into a mommy's pet or daddy's pet. Okay, the reason being that the marriage will always be about them. It means again, just like my friend, he had no say, right?
Mm.
damn.
Now remember, loyalty comes. There was this teaser that came up when they were saying, "Oh, if your mom, you wake up in the morning, your mom and your wife are dragging for front seat of the car. Who is going to?"
That one doesn't
I-
even make any sense. I don't understand.
A mommy's pet will ask his mom, "Mommy, do you want to sit in the front?" A mommy's pet will tell his mom to sit in the front. A mommy's boy knows
Mr.
how to
John,
balance
that.
things out and make you
See,
know. I should sit with my
Sister,
allow Mr. Kelly
sister,
to-
sister Buki.
Yes.
Sister Buki, mommy's boy, mommy pet, both mean the same thing, my dear.
It's not the same thing.
Alright.
It's not the same thing.
Ijatide,
You
Mr.
control your
Consequence.
pets. You are in
See.
control of your pets. You direct
No,
your
no.
pets. You tell your pets
No.
when to
This
sleep,
is
when to go to
mommy's
bed,
pet,
when to
this is
wake up.
mommy's
When,
pet.
I'm so interested. You know why? Because I have a recorded TikTok. I mean, I have a recorded reel on this. I love mommy's pet. It is even better for you to marry a mommy's pet than all those one that we are seeing outside now. That they don't
See.
know the value of a woman.
Okay.
They don't know the value of a
Mommy's
woman.
pet. Ah.
Mommy's pet or mommy's boy? You wanted to
Is
say
it
mommy's boy.
Marrying a mommy's boy is better than
Uh-huh.
all those ones that we have.
Oh.
So we are dealing with mommy's pet according to your definition now. We're
A
dealing with
mommy's pet will take every authority from his mom. Like
The same with
Mr.
mommy's
Consequence,
boy.
you want to tackle me now. Your pet, you are in control of your pet.
It's
You
just
tell your
semantics.
pet when to eat, when to go and sit down. You guys
Not
are
necessarily.
Okay, I want
Not necessarily, but But what we're describing is okay. A mommy boy is just a boy who is excessively attached.
Upset. Mm-hmm.
Okay, excessively attached to their mother. In
A
fact,
mommy's
another
pet
word
is
for
excessively attached to his mother.
no,
A
that is the
mommy's
definition for a
boy
mommy
is
boy.
not.
That is the definition for a mommy boy. Look it up.
What I'm
Okay.
telling you is all this Google definition. I know what you're saying. I
You are
have
the one that
checked it
said
before. I
you
know
are the
the
one that
Just
said
thing.
look at
It's
Google.
Google is what you Google in and Google out too. Ah,
no, hold on. You are the one that raised Google. You said look it up
Yeah.
on Google yourself. I haven't even, but I'm just saying when you're excessively attached to your mother. In fact, okay, I love to use the Merriam-Webster dictionary.
Mommy's
Let's try that.
boy, a male who is overly dependent on their mom into adulthood.
Mother.
They can
Yeah.
they can lead to things such as a grown man letting his mom make decisions for him,
For
despite
him.
my
old
mom,
enough.
my mother-in-law does not have a say when it comes to whatever is
See,
happening in my home.
Husband
Then
is
then
not
that
a
means he's
maybe,
And
not a
yet,
mommy's boy.
maybe,
husband is
That
maybe
means
not
he's not a mommy's boy
maybe,
then.
maybe,
Type one,
maybe,
you have type
maybe your husband is a man who adores their mother
Mother. So
appropriately
much.
or
yes.
reverence their
Yeah.
mother, which is normal.
Yes.
But if you
Mm-hmm.
call him a mommy's
Mommy's
boy
boy. No, you
and you
are
want
wrong.
us to go by the dictionary definition of a
Mm.
mommy's boy, then
Then
we're
it's
going to have issue.
contradicting
Maybe
itself.
he's a boy that loves, is a man, sorry, that loves his mother so much, and you can
Mm-hmm.
see the evidence of the love he has for his mother in his relationship with his mother. That's a
Mm-hmm.
different thing. But if you're saying a mommy boy is excessively attached to their mother. A mommy
Yes.
boy is overly dependent on their mother. In fact,
Yes.
another definition for a mommy boy is a timid person, someone who is timid. All right, that is if we're using the definition.
They
But
have
what you're
type
saying to us
one
is
and they
your
have
husband loves his mom, and it is evident in the relationship that they
yes.
have. Of course, this is an amazing thing to
if
have,
you are
actually, because
young, still searching, and you're listening to me as a lady, please do not marry any man that does not value his mom. Do
Yeah.
not marry
And
any man that does
Mm.
not adore his mom. You are going to suffer for it. They don't know the value of a woman, and you're going to suffer for it. Marry a man who adores his
I agree with that.
sacrifice a
I
lot
agree
for
with
them.
that.
no, well,
Mommy's boy.
I
I
can
agree with
I
your
can I can I
submission.
can
You're
I can
right.
I
I can
think
rock with that definition.
Right.
But do you want to say?
Exactly.
Do you want to? No, sorry, not the. I can rock with the explanation that you have just given, Sister Buki. I can
Mm-hmm.
rock with that.
Mm-hmm.
But are you saying marry a mommy boy? Is that what you're saying?
They
No,
have
Marry a
marry.
mommy boy rather than all those club boys. Are they not better?
Pookie. They
oh,
have
the
type
boys
one
are
and
even
Why
mommy
type
boys
use that
now.
term again? Oh, mommy's boy.
They're the one trying to. They are the one
Today,
ugly
mommy.
of the water.
today,
Mommy.
my hormones are really high. So if
Don't
you see
worry,
that
don't
I'm
worry.
yelling, you can.
We understand. We
Mr.
understand.
Kelly,
We understand.
Mr. Ron, they have
Yes.
Please,
type.
I
Mr.
will be
Ron,
back in 2 minutes. A mommy's
okay,
boy is
sweetheart.
shopping for me somewhere in London. So I need to
Okay.
log out
He's
and
not
be
a
on a
mommy's
video with
boy.
him.
Stop calling him
He's
mommy's
a
boy.
mommy's boy.
He's not a mommy's boy. Stop
I will
saying
be
it.
back, please.
In
I need
fact,
to
let's
pick
call
my
it
Okay.
phone.
down.
I will be
Okay.
back.
Okay, excuse me.
Mr. Ron, they have
Okay.
Mr. Ron, they have type one. This thing is even defined here in Google. A mommy's boy, type one and type two. Type one.
Okay.
Imagine.
Now the one where they carry mommy load for
The
head
mama
like
for head.
you know, and that's the that's the driving. The mother is the driving force in that
Behind the
boy's
boy.
life and will direct
Imagine.
and lead and enforce her own will on him,
Hmm.
his girlfriend, his wife, and he can do and say nothing.
Nothing. Wow.
You know, so type one, type two, a man who simply loves his mother and isn't afraid to show it.
Mhm.
How this differs from type one is that the son is perfectly capable and willing to take care of himself while
Okay.
still holding a close bond to his
With
mom.
the mother. Okay,
We
that's
can
what
rock with that
that's what
one.
the
That's
Tabuki
type
is referring
right,
to.
not type
Yeah.
one, rather
Type 2. She should be putting type 2 behind it. Mommy's boy
uh-huh.
type 2.
That's right.
I've got that. Okay, so I was going somewhere. It's always important that when you're going somewhere, and the general rule of courtship is marry somebody. If you're a woman, marry somebody you respect enough. Hey, welcome, Sister Buki. So, okay, I'll get back to you, Sister Buki. So, Sister Buki and Kelly, try and turn your phone sideways so I can feel the screen. Let it
Hi,
auto rotate.
Kelly.
Sister
Hi,
Buki,
Sister Buki. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Salam.
Sister Buki, you and Kelly, try and flip your phone sideways so that
Why?
it has
I'm not
rectangular.
flipping my phone, my friend.
You
What do
manage
you
it
mean?
the way you're seeing it. Manage it.
What is my troublesome siblings?
Manage
Okay,
it.
so
I can't turn it.
okay,
The thing is appearing normal on my end. I don't know what you are saying.
okay. So
Mr. Aaron, no, let's go ahead.
what I
No,
was
no,
saying,
Arika, are we not appearing normal on your end?
Of course, you are very okay. Don't mind
yeah,
Mr.
Eh?
Ron, Gary. He
yeah,
wants
Mr.
every
Ron, you
space to
need
be
to flip
clean.
your own phone. Flip your
yeah.
phone to join us.
I'm using a camera. You're making everybody know you're using phones. That's why I'm trying to cover up for you guys.
Ah,
Ha. What are
what
we
is wrong
supposed
with
to
this?
use
I'm
before?
using a phone too. Mr.
Okay,
Ron,
okay.
please,
So
let's
you've
go
been
ahead.
on an hour. Have you come to any conclusions yet?
No. Don't worry. It's still in the interesting part.
We're
So
still deliberating.
you missed the definition of mommy's boy. So I will get back to it anyway. So
Uh-huh.
oh, okay. So back to what I was saying. It's really, really important that we define when you are going into a marriage, make sure that the family likes it because it's dangerous. Now, some people have survived it. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people have survived the issue of antagonistic or belligerent family members, right? But it's not ideal. It's not good for your sanity. They are
Hmm.
always there. Rule number one, always marry, if you're a woman, marry a man that you respect. Don't marry a man that every woman is trying to get. They are two different things.
Nah.
Marry one that you respect. Because when you respect him, oh, daddy is back. Let me give daddy a big round of applause. Yeah, welcome, daddy. So, so
Hi,
marry.
Bookie.
Hi, how are you?
Good, honey. How are you?
Nice to see you.
Same,
For,
same.
okay, for a lady, if you marry a man you respect, it's easier for you to submit to the man. And for a man, if you marry a woman you respect, it's very easy for you to love the woman. You see why this respecting thing is very important. It comes with trust.
Don't get me
It's a,
wrong in the
it's a
spirit.
package that comes with trust.
Are you
You
Richard?
trust the person enough in your life as a woman. You trust this man that will make these sensible decisions. Not a man with cockroach head, though. You trust a man with brain, with logical thinking, critical thinking.
Which one is cockroach, Mr.
No,
Ron?
no. There are cockroaches everywhere now, so we need to be careful. So, so you
Yes,
marry
what do you mean a cockroach? Does it mean it has
a
little or no brain or what?
yeah, something like that.
But you know, cockroaches survive anything. You can blow up a house. They're the ones that will still.
But they have no brain. Why would I be coming out?
They
And
have
that's the
no
time.
brain. All they
Why is
want
that?
is to survive.
Why will I be coming out in the kitchen and that's the time they'll decide to run when they know I'll stop?
Midnight.
No
Midnight.
brain,
They come
no
out at
brains.
midnight.
So, so
I have feminists listening to you.
Oh,
no,
let them
don't.
go ahead.
I
Let
have
them
two
listen. Don't worry. This is for
feminists
feminists.
listening to you, so tread
They need,
carefully.
they need to
I
sit
love
down
feminists
somewhere.
too. I like engaging them. So marry a man you trust, respect with your life. Do not go after people that are popular. For a woman, hypergamy is real, but even in hypergamy, you can still choose a man who is responsible. You know, as a woman, you know when you see the red flag. You know when you're dating the person. You see all these subtle things, and somehow because of the class, because of um the the level he is in society, you feel as though that don't worry, let me get him first. When I get in, I'll change him from inside. They don't change, oh. A man that slaps you during courtship will continue slapping you during marriage, oh. Let me not deceive you. He will continue you. A man that is tossing you around, he will continue doing it. They don't change. So if you know that you have a shield, body shield to be receiving punches and everything, I say I will die with this man because he's popular or he's rich or his family's name will sound nice beside your name. Well, don't come and start telling us that men are dogs when the thing doesn't work out. because you saw the signs from the beginning, right? The same thing, men. I have friends. Sometimes South African women as pretty as Nigerian women too. Sometimes we'll be going through the mall. You see all these beautiful ladies. They'll be talking, or hospital or clerks. You just, oh, my guy will be like, if I feel marry this woman, see how she they talk. She's very fine. The voice nice. Or a lady will pass. If I feel marry this one, see her shape, figure eight, yash day, this one day. I say, guy, once she's in your house, you will not be seeing these things that you are lusting after now, because she will switch to comfort mode, and comfort mode comes with a lot of wahala. I do you know the person well enough to and by the way, if you're a man and you're married a woman, you're also entrusting your life into her hands, because while you're sleeping, she's looking at you. If
Uh-huh.
I just stab this guy now, he will just die. If I just slit his throat now, he will die. If I pour in water or acid, he will die. Your life
Oh,
is in her hands. She
God.
feeds you. So your life is in her hands too. So always consider before you entrust your being into such a person's hand. Now, before Sister Buki goes, let me just define mom. Before you came, your other Sister Buki, I'm defining what happened. The other sister Bukola was saying that mommy's boy and mommy's pets are two different things. That mommy's boy is one who loves mommy and all that, and respects woman, respects motherhood. Then the other one is one who takes instruction from mom before he does anything. Mommy, can I sleep with my wife? Mommy, should I kiss my wife? Mommy, should I do this in your head? Mommy's boy and mama's. But Kelly has
There's type 1 and type 2.
so
Like
so
diabetes.
like
Yes.
diabetes. There's now type 1 and type 2 now of mommy's boy.
Okay.
I said that if you're a lady, please, under no circumstances, even if the guy's family loves you, okay, except they love you to the point whereby they consider you more than their son. But any family where you are not wanted, don't go there. One, two. If the guy takes instruction from mommy or daddy for domestic, listen, run away. Run
Okay.
away. So that's where those were the two things I pointed out that brought about this discussion. But since you're coming fresh, we've not
Welcome.
preempted you or anything. So tell us your own part. So let's hear a fresh view.
Concerning what? I can't see the topic.
Oh, sorry.
I've got feminists in my ears. I wish you could hear what they're saying.
Okay, so here's vetting before marriage. What do you look out for?
So vetting, to clarify, is finding out as much information about the person before you marry them. Well, that's basic common sense, isn't it? Isn't
Yes.
it? Yeah, it's basic common sense. You can learn more about somebody from their environment, their people. You can learn a lot more about them than you can actually get from them. What you learn about them, you would learn over a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And how much should they reveal themselves in those few months before you get married? Or do they suggest that you get together and live together first before you get married?
Okay. Mr. Buki, this is what we'll do. Give her the link. Let her go to another room and log in, because we want to hear what she has to say.
Should
Because we don't have a
Or let her
feminist.
sit where you're sitting and let
We
her
need a
ask
feminist.
questions.
We need a feminist.
She's a teacher. She can't come on, but you
No,
know,
she can blank her face. She can block off her face and
You
give
can
us a
turn off
call.
the
but
camera for
but
her to ask.
it's for me. It's a non-starter really. It's very important because what she's trying to say is how much do you really know somebody anyway in the first few stages. People put their best foot forward. They're not going to show you all their scars
That's what
and
I said. I said
all
sometimes
their
it's
bad sides. So it's important to try and get peripheral
exactly.
information
Yeah.
about the person before you make a choice. And this is where it's important sometimes to bring your family in. Especially in Nigerian culture, you're told to just couple business is couple business, but sometimes you need to get other people involved to get an idea of what the person is like. So vetting before marriage is absolutely crucial, and I think that's what is contributing to a lot of issues that people encounter. They marry before they know the person rather than know the person
Exactly.
before you marry them.
Exactly. That's it, basically what we're talking about. And I did mention the fact that, especially, women, we know how to conceal and hide things. So do men. And it's not until you're, months and months or years down the line before they're comfortable enough um to say or show who they really are or act out who they really are. Because I always say the first stages of relationships is the most deceitful, because everybody's putting out the best part of them to be liked, right? And then after that, the real you begins to surface slowly. So
Mm.
I even wanted to get with you, Mr. Kelly and Mr. Ron, later on in the day, if possible, where I wanted to discuss something that happened with a girl. This sort of thing that we're talking about already, where a year into the relationship reveals that she had a child where he never even knew, about, and how to deal with that.
I have somebody here 2 streets away from me. After her marriage, that's when they found out that she had 3 kids.
Okay,
That's
so
not acceptable. That I
it's
would leave
not.
that
It's not.
person.
It's not.
I
I
would
mean,
leave that person. That's not acceptable.
yeah, yeah. But the case I want to talk about is slightly different.
But
So
would you stay? I wouldn't stay with somebody if they kept children from me. We're not talking about these are children. How are you going to hide children from
Uh,
a married for?
this one
And
was very
why would
passive.
you hide them? Why would you be hiding them? They're your kids.
and she wanted the guy now.
That's
Eh,
not good enough, is it?
we can discuss this on IG when I bring it up.
We'll do it on IG Live. So we don't
Okay,
bring our
so
personal business out. Okay, continue. Well, listen, Sister Buki.
yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't see anything else to.
And you also believe that as much as possible, try and dot all the T's and cross all the I's, allow enough people to investigate. Remember the other subject we had
Well,
that you
I
remember the
think
other
for me, it's a case of if you don't focus on what you want and focus on what you need, you'll find out more about the person. But we're quite superficial these days. We look first on the outside, how the person, do they fit in,
Do
the
they
the
have
look
money?
bracket that we want. Are our friends going to find them attractive? Do they drive the kind of car? Do they represent the kind of status that we want in life? And those are the things that generally guide our decision making when meeting somebody at first. So, but if you focus on what you need from the person, you tend to look deeper. You're not going to be fooled by the superficial. You're going to search deeper to find out, what the person is made of. I said to my friend this morning, what is on the outside is not, how can I say, what is on the outside is not
say it in
indicative
Igbo.
of the quality that is within, and it's the
Say it,
quality that is within that you want. Not to say that you should just marry somebody you're not attracted to. No, it's important to be attracted, but
say it
a
in
lot of
Igbo.
people make that the
Say it.
main
Main focus.
main
And also make sure your
reason.
intentions
You're
are
going to
both
speak
the
it.
same going into the relationship and your expectations.
Yes, and you've got shared relationship.
Okay. So you cannot say it in Igbo. You have to speak it in English.
So I've got a question for you. Who does the vetting in what's that?
It's arranged.
In
Can
an
you hear?
arranged marriage? Who does the vetting the parents do the vetting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Parents.
parents and
Sister
family
Buki,
and other
Sister
family
Buki,
members who take it very
Sister
seriously.
Buki, just
It's
just
almost like
for clarification, all
Else.
right?
Okay.
Sister Buki, just for clarification, we are not. The discussion around vetting is not um, anything to do with even arranged marriage. Now we're saying generally. I think that's what the
Okay.
discussion is today.
What does
Generally,
exactly mean
and
about vetting?
and I'm thinking that I don't know how people are understanding what vetting should mean. Okay, because vetting is the accumulation of information that is driving you towards saying or towards making that decision that this is who I want to spend my life with. That is what vetting is. And it begins, okay, depending on how both of you mean, it should start from when you start communicating. All right? You should start
Yeah.
from when you start communicating. You today, okay, because of the time that we live in today, the vetting begins with those involved in the potential relationship. I say potential because you shouldn't go into it before you start vetting, because that is one of the things that people get twisted. They want to go into it. They get carried away and a little bit too excited to the point where they begin their vetting later on. Yes, vetting does not stop actually, right? Because marriage is a huge deal. It's a big deal that you don't just want to joke around with. So before I make a decision that I want to be involved with this person, there are certain things that I want to see that I consider fundamental for me, that are key. Like I mentioned earlier on, I used to say some things that people think I'm joking when I say it. Because of how I am set up, I have my do's, my don'ts, and my adjustables. There are certain worldview that if you hold on to as a woman is a no-no for me. But for someone else, they might be able to deal with it. But for me, I cannot deal with it. So that is what I think, in my opinion, that this vetting discussion is around. Okay, I think it's around what are the things, because I don't understand. I think before you say you're marrying someone, okay, I think before you say you're marrying someone, there should be evidences that you gather together, which is the faith that aspect before the faith in, okay, which is the faith that. So those evidences that you gather together are the faith that drives you towards faith in that person. So it is necessary, and it's not one-sided. Women should do the vetting of the man. Let me give you a very simple analogy, right? Let me give you an example that I've said to someone. There's this lady that is very popular on Instagram today. I said something to her a while ago. She has this way of, she goes out of this relationship, she go into another one, she go into another one. Inside 1 year, she fit be inside 5 relationships. And one day I said to her, I said, maybe you have not really decided for yourself what it is that you want. Maybe loneliness, companionship is what you are seeking. Because when you get to that stage in your life where you want relationship proper, there are certain efforts that goes into it, criterias that goes into it. Now, this is what, let me give you one simple thing, okay, that people don't take into consideration. If you are a woman, and people laugh whenever I say this thing, but let me repeat it again. If you're a woman and you enjoy spending time with the man you're with, maybe over time you discover that in your previous relationship that you struggle when you're not spending time with your man, okay? And you also enjoy the little things, okay? Good movie dates, once in a while dinner, movie dates, small flowers, surprises, blah blah blah. You enjoy this thing, they drive you, they make you happy in your this thing. Now you're going to go and marry a Yahoo boy, for instance, who
Can you
does
guys
not
hear?
have, hold on.
Can you guys hear me very well?
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay. I was just adjusting the mic for Bukola so she can. I don't want to. I don't want to interrupt Kelly's train of thought. So let him come back. So, but if you are still watching, the likes is still on 5. Oh, nobody clicked anything. Please
I
click.
wanted to say, Rod, I wanted to ask, is there not a difference in the quality of vetting that we do in Africa as opposed to the West here? Yeah, because we have the ability here to, I think for us over here, we have the ability to do things like criminal records check. We have the ability to do things like police check. We have the ability to,
Check.
because you want to know what kind, whereas perhaps back home it's more a familial check where the family standing and the reputation that matters more back home, do you think?
And hereditary traits. Okay, can you finish so that we'll come back to
All right.
okay.
So if you're a woman who have learned from your past, and this is the importance of learning something from your previous relationship, what you can do better and what you did wrong. It is good for both the man and the woman. So now, if you're a woman who enjoyed time with your man, all right, and you know that you have struggled, maybe you have this tendency to cheat whenever your man is far away from you after a given period of time. Or maybe you become depressed whenever your man is away from you after a given period of time, right? If you are going to want to marry, which is what I said to that lady, I said it is important for you to consider who you're marrying to. If you struggle to be alone and you want to marry a man whose job takes away from home every 3 months, he's gone every 1 month, he's gone to go and work for 3 months before coming back. These are some of the things that you should take into consideration. That small excitement that you get into that will make you ignore that this man, every 1 week or 2 weeks, his job takes him abroad where he gets to spend like 1 month, 2 months.
Okay.
Do you understand? Where you get to spend like 1 month, 2 months, and you struggle yourself as a person. Okay. And you struggle yourself as a person when it comes to, you know, being alone. These things are very important that you take them into consideration before, okay, you commit to a man. These are just part of the vetting. You don't want to be alone. Oh, you enjoy family time, you enjoy spending time together. You want your man around as much as possible. You love movie dates, you love going to cinema, small flowers here and there, and you want to go and marry a Yahoo boy. A typical Yahoo boy does not have time to do all those things.
What
Okay?
you're saying is very true, Kelly. And I'll give you a quick example because there was
Yeah, just let me land. I'll pass it to you, Binta, real quick.
right.
So a typical Yahoo boy does not have time to give you all those things, to be very honest with you. Okay? Or a typical Yahoo boy does not have time to plan date and keep to that date always. A banker can do that with you more successfully, for instance, actually, right? A working class might do that with you more successfully. But Yahoo boy, if he's expecting something and he's too busy and money didn't come when he's expecting the money to come, and you're going to get angry because he didn't make himself available for the date that he has planned with you, then you're not thinking it rightly. You're not vetting properly. So these are some of the things that we must consider. What are those adjustables? What are those absolute don'ts and those do's that you want to take into consideration before going to marriage? They are very important. And Mr. Ron, you said something earlier on about you don't think people can change. I think people can change, but you will know somebody will feel change. You go know from how they react when you have disagreements. Some people, because if you're going to be able to change, you must have that capacity to be a good listener as well. Some people don't take anything you said into consideration. Do you know that up to this moment, up to last night, there are still those who are still saying that I was bashing single mothers, even after 1 gazillion explanation. And I said to that person, I said, hold on, so Sister Buki was also bashing single mother. How does that make sense? To the point where then they go report me.
What?
That just goes to show. Then you know what's going on there? You know what's going on there when people, because for you to change, you must have the capacity to listen. Okay, so I do not think, because if I'm going to say that people cannot change, then maybe I shouldn't have changed. This is not what I used to be myself personally. I was a different person, but because I listen, I take things into consideration, I can see the change. Even me, sometimes I look at me and be like, wow, you're so cool, right? I look at and be like, so wow, you're so cool these days. So I think people can change, but you can tell. See, if the follow person get discussion, simple thing, you don't explain them different time, and then still go back to do that thing, they are not listening to anything you ever said. People like that may not change. Because to change means you have to even take anything into consideration in the first place. You must take what is said into consideration and think it thoroughly. And that's why I think I'm going to, anyway, let me leave it at that. So I'm just saying that I don't think people are doomed to not change. As a matter of fact, we say change is the only thing that is constant, correct? All right? Change is the only thing that is constant. But it's only constant if your mind is open to listening, then you can evolve. Oftentimes, when you're dealing with people who will never listen, unless the thing that gladdens and itches their ears, then they might be doomed to not changing. But if they are willing to listen, then anyone can change. I'll just leave it at that.
So can I just interject really quick, because what Kelly's saying is absolutely true, because there was a country girl who was used to having her cowboys around, and very easily accessible friends that she was dating, and ended up marrying a businessman. And in order to keep his business and lifestyle and whatnot going, he was gone 80% of the time. He's in this country, that country, flying over, and she's home crying, lonely, miserable. And what she loved about the guy was something that she ended up hating when she was living with him as husband and wife. So I mean, it's what you can tolerate. Is this thing, it goes beyond love. And what Kelly was saying about people changing, sometimes I say it's near death situations that cause people to change. And I think of that a little differently today, because if you really love the person and care about who you're living with and how you're making them feel, and the feeling is not good, I think you would care enough to want to change, because you're listening to that person and you're listening to how you are making that person feel with whatever it is that you're doing. When it comes to abuse or certain other things, they say once a cheater, always a cheater. Sometimes they are only remorseful and sorry and sad because they got caught. I'm not saying, and I have seen men who were perpetual bad boys, and somewhere along the line, they matured, they wanted to settle down, and even within the marriage, it was very difficult for them to leave their bad boy habits behind. But eventually, it didn't bring them any happiness. The thrill of chasing, the thrill of whatever, they changed, they settled down. There are some women like my dear Bookie who will not tolerate anybody cheating or any one-time mistake or any uh, there are many women
Any
in my
thoughts,
mind,
Steph? Not even one time mistake, even thinking about
don't
it.
even think about it, but then made that, like Christ said, if you look and you lost, you've already committed the sin. So how many times, like Jimmy Carter said, the one president, he said, have I not committed adultery, or I have lost it in my mind several times? So the fact that the man hasn't done the act, does the fact that he hasn't thought about it, does that mean that he's innocent? So I look at those things. The fact that you haven't initiated the act to commit adultery, you don't even know what's in the man's mind. He's looking and lusting and tumbling those thoughts around in his head. He has slept with the woman different types of ways and styles, 100 different times, but he hasn't acted it out. Okay, Mr. Ron is guilty. Can I say that my darling Mr. Kelly has not lost it in his mind? I mean, men, it would be unrealistic for us to sit down and think that a man that we're
Madam,
married to, that's
Madam
dedicated to us, so hasn't thought
Madam
about.
Madam Vita, we wake up as men minding our business, JJ. We wake
Okay.
up JJ to do JJ daily living, to
Uh-huh.
mind our business, not to offend anybody.
Uh-huh.
But these daughters of Jezebel and Eve,
See,
every time they
Jezebel,
always
see.
harassing. You know what? I have one dark sunshade in my car now, so anytime I'm walking, I just say, God.
I have one that I'm designing for Mr. Kelly that's supposed to cover all
Send
here,
it to
all
all
his
of us. Send it
peripheral
to all
vision
men.
too.
All men need it because we are really not surviving the pressure. The pressure. God will deliver us.
You hear you. God will deliver. How many times you're married? How many
All my
times?
forgiveness sin. All my forgiveness sin. You know they say as a Christian before you sleep, you must ask for forgiveness. 80% of the forgiveness sin is always this thing you talked about. This one
So you're
where you
guilty.
take your eye see, where you use eye see.
So
Uh-huh.
you're
That's
guilty.
the one.
You're
Yes,
guilty as
now
charged.
most definitely yes.
Oh
So we
well.
have to. In fact, this is even for people who are heaven bound. Always
Heaven bound.
repent.
Okay. We can't hear
Always.
Bookie. See how Bookie they look. Bookie don't they vex. My
Wait,
sweetie
wait,
don't they
concern
vex.
me. What's your problem? What's your problem with me? I'm listening intently here. I'm
Ah,
learning.
your problem that my
Bitch, don't look for my
problem.
trouble. Oh.
Your
I'll
man,
give you trouble.
wait. I don't get one shokoto where we go wear together today. Sweetie
What
baby.
time are you coming on then later if you are?
Who me?
Yeah.
I have to see what's good for everybody to come on.
Apostle, we hear of this.
Now who the
Jesus is Lord.
God.
What is that? Ron, you and those sound effects.
I know those
Lord.
sound effects are too much.
There is God, oh.
There is God, oh. That's for all his sinful thoughts.
Child.
Yeah.
You're still holding him together.
Mr. Ron is
Yeah, but you're not tilted
consumed
down then.
with
Again.
thoughts that he
Yeah,
has
it's
to
not
say
really.
Jesus
It's
is
still
Lord.
Jesus is Lord.
I have them so many. It's just I was enjoying the conversation today that I forgot to use some of them. I have a lot of them.
But see the what?
Oh, so
See the
you're just
conversation.
catching up.
Bookie, look at what conversation we're having that brought it out. Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord. Because he's a habitual, perpetual sinner of thoughts.
So, no. This sin of thought, in fact,
Hey, ayé mi tèmi bá mi.
Oh,
Fire.
Ron, you're enjoying yourself a lot more than we are right now.
Mr. Kelly just a study. That's why you see with Mr. Kelly, I will never go wrong in my life.
Brother Kelly, shalom, my brother.
Okay.
Hallelujah.
Shabbat shalom, Brother
Are you on
Dogs.
tonight?
Let's see if we can go on, Sister Buki. There's one people palaver that I saw that I want us to discuss. Anyways,
Okay.
Okay.
I'm game. I'm on for the night.
What's the idea? Can you give us an idea?
Mr. Ron, you're not going to sleep today.
let me go and find it again
I just
so I
sleep
can
before
give you.
now. After this one, okay, what time is yours again?
Mine is
Your
to
eyes-
4 now. We're almost 4 o'clock.
So it's
Sister
going to
Buki,
start.
start there at 7 tonight.
No, I'm not doing until I finish uni now.
Oh,
So
so nothing today.
Nothing today, no.
Oh, so I can't have you on today.
It's easier for me to join because the pressure of, the pressure of hosting. I don't want it right now.
But yeah, I noticed my Instagram live still does 4 hours.
Yeah. And they
So
keep
what?
cutting me off every hour. It's annoying for me. So I just,
me too. It get me tired.
yeah.
Instagram, thank you. I didn't know I can be loved like
It's
this.
because you've not mentioned transgender enough yet. Let's talk about that.
Me?
Start picking you off. Yes.
Did
You
you
stay
mention
away
it?
from those sensitive subjects that their algorithms pick up on.
And once that
Oh.
algorithm picks it up, there's a guy now,
Yeah.
they cut him to half an hour.
Yeah, once the algorithms pick it up and you talk a lot about all of that, then they'll now start monitoring your lives and timing you.
Oh, I see.
Mm.
I see. Okay, so let's get to a conclusion. Let's agree on something. Sister Buki is not. Sister Buki is not. Sister Bukola is okay. Still busy. So let's agree on something. Vetting, it's you can't vet by yourself because you'll be blind. Is it blind spotted or blind sighted? You can't see everything. You can only see what is being presented to you one on one. But okay, let me rehash what I said. Like before I got married, my people went to because my wife is not Igbo like me, she's a Doma. So before I go, and this is the way we used to do it. People, you always have people in your family who know people from other cultures. So when it's time for vetting, it's those people who are familiar with the other cultures you use as people who will go and vet. You send them out as emissaries to go and say, okay, this my son wants to marry a girl from this place. Go and find out about this culture. They'll go do their investigations, come back and say, oh, okay, we check them out. They are okay. They are very temperamental. The last one slapped the king's son, and that's why they beheaded him in 1805. They beheaded his great grandfather and said, the one after the other one, he slapped a colonial police officer. This one slapped, but then you start seeing temper issues coming down, and you're like, oh, okay, I think we'll have to pass or something. Then again, if there's a condition in the person's family, the chances are the person is going to carry over that condition to wherever he or she is going to. So everything you have to check backgrounds is very, very important. Now, I used to think that certain ailments are hereditary till when I met Rian on Kelly's life. I used to think that hypertension and diabetes and all these things are hereditary. But I just found out that it's technically not hereditary, only that you are repeating the same pattern you've gotten from your family down a generational line. You're just repeating, you're eating the same way your family has been eating, right? Now, we also have, now, if, I forgot this, I was saying this before Sister Buki came in. Like, when I said when you have to respect who you are marrying, when you respect who you are marrying, okay, let me start with the woman, then I'll start with the men. When you see a man and you listen to him, you hear him out speak, and you feel like, oh, this man has wisdom, he has good leadership traits. I have PhD as a woman, and I'm willing to submit to this man who has A levels because he's very smart. He can help me push my career. This kind of man is going to push me through the guy has to agree with you in that beginning. By all means, marry him. Don't go and marry a traditional man and you're a feminist or a modern woman. It's not going to work. And the same way, be careful of men. Yes, men. There are a lot of yes men. You might be very beautiful as a woman, very hot, very known, popular. Everybody is seeking after you. Then you decide that this guy is always around me. Always try and filter out the kind of men around you, your suitors. There are some men that will say anything just to get you. Anything. They'll lie. They'll tell all kinds of financial lies. Their background, everything is a lie. You see that with a popular actress and ex-hubby. Remember how they broke up over a lie that was told in the beginning of their relationship. So always don't do the vetting by yourself and say, I'm in love. The feeling is moving me. I feel this love. This thing is moving my soul. See, these are just Walt Disney sentiments. They are not realistic. Marriage is not what you think it is. It's not that and the prince kissed the princess and they live happily ever after. Well, they will leave, but it's a journey. Once you say I do, once you just get married, from the point of marriage, another journey begins, a journey of compatibility and understanding your differences, where you come from and how to navigate. And
Mr. Rob, I
sorry.
there was a lady who was very trusted amongst family members and so on and so forth. And she was known as an Indian matchmaker or whatever, right? This is years ago. And she was trusted in the community and everything. And the family, the father saw a guy from a good family. He didn't even know the family was that prominent, but because the boy used to come and deliver whatever to his shop, he didn't know that they were the producers and the whatever. He just thought he was a driver and what I didn't know he was one of the sons. But the way the guy was respectful, hardworking, clean dressed and everything, he said, his daughter. He sent the matchmaker to go and find out about the guy. He wants the guy for the daughter. He sees great potential in the guy. He didn't even know that they were the owners of this big production company or whatever of goods. So the lady now went and did the findings, and it's like, oh my God, he's single. The family too is looking for somebody for him, and so on. She went back and told the shop owner that the guy is no good. The guy is irresponsible. The guy is blah 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 blah. Why? She can't vet the boy for her own picking. So it's who you're sending to. You have to trust the person, that whoever you're sending to go and vet for you has your best interest at heart and that you can trust them. Because sometimes they see good for you or for your child and don't want that for your own. You have, and then you have family members also who are that mean, jealous, and wicked. So it's always, vetting is good, but always make sure whoever is doing the vetting has your best interest. You trust them, and they care about you and your future, because you do have some very wicked, evil, vile people that are doing and that will try to block your own blessing. So that's my own 2 cents on who you get to vet. You still have to be careful. I
But
mean,
I
learn as
think
much as possible.
my friends here made a quite a valid point. With the vetting, you're very limited as to what you can say you are vetting. Because even if your family in Nigeria, you have that where you have families interacting, but what you really want to know is who the person is, isn't it? That's because regardless of what the family finds out about the family, what you need to know is the person that you're going to be spending the rest of your life with. That's the important
I can say that.
information. And as she rightly said, you know, only time can reveal to you who somebody really, really is at the end of the day. it's going to take time, and and also there's you've got to make allowances for the fact that somebody has changed. Let's say you find something out about somebody that they did 5 years ago, and doesn't mean that that's the person who they are today. So you've got to get to know somebody a little bit, and then just go off of what you have to start with, and just be mindful as you're going in, or the level of commitment you're making to the person until you are at a comfortable stage, I would say, to say, right, okay, I know enough about this person to absorb any negative things that I might find out later. I know enough good about them that will keep me by their side long term, should anything untoward come out.
I think in that case, if you had a history, a not so pleasant history, and you want to get married, I think the wise thing to do for whoever loves the person and wants to move on is to wait a little bit and see. Maybe
Okay,
just
so can I ask you, Ron, because you men are always going on
yeah,
about women's body count. So you would decline a woman based on her body count if you
yeah,
vetted and looked for
yeah,
information.
yeah. Now,
So, but then that's contrary to the advice that you're just given now,
no,
then
no,
that's not fair.
no, I'm coming. Sorry. There's something I just realized. I didn't always think about this. The higher the body, I didn't always reason like this before. So, the higher the body count is for the woman, the more likely she's coming on with different emotional baggage. I will explain. Remember that while she's dating this, I'm not talking about just sleeping around, I'm talking about dating. Remember that while she's dating these other people, she's adjusting to that person's, conforming with that person's standards, right? Good or bad, knowingly or unknowingly, she's adjusting to the person's standards. So you can imagine somebody who dated an abuser, a physical abuser, somebody who beats her up. Then she moves and moves and moves, maybe another abuser, then she lands with a gentleman, somebody who is very caring and loving. We've noticed that they tend to, because they expect these things that they suffered in the
Yeah,
past, they tend they are now the ones triggering the new guy to see that, so that she'll be beaten and she'll feel okay. I'm loved.
that's what she's used to.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
she doesn't know any
me, but I'm talking specifically about
There
body
is
count.
exception to that, Mr.
No,
Ron.
no, we
It's
are
not
talking in
everyone.
general. No,
We can't generalize.
Bukola,
We have people who heal. They
no,
heal
Bukola,
really good. They move on, and
when we speak publicly, we are not talking about the minute niche. Like, everything has an exception. Everything. The sun doesn't shine the same way all through the year. There are always going to be exceptions, but we're dealing with the general, package. Also, if she's so experienced, like if she has high body count with experience, maybe in bedroom, and it could be to her advantage. Maybe the guy doesn't know much. He might just accept her like that. It could help him.
But generally, but
But but always remember that she's coming along with a lot of because she has dealt with different men with different characters. So she has tried to conform to the person's standard, standard one, standard two, standard three, standard four. Then all of a sudden she ends up with this innocent person who doesn't know that much. And he has to be the dump site for all this baggage he's having. And like, what did I do wrong? I didn't do anything to deserve this.
ask you though, brother Ron, do men come with baggages? Do they not come with baggages?
They
Do they
do.
not come with?
Truck factors and all of that.
No, they come with baggages, but their baggage is not like it's not transferred. It's baggage that is innate in them. A man that has Jaguda
What do you
tendencies.
mean it's not
What
transferred?
do you mean, brother Ron? What
Not
did they thought?
transferred.
Listen, we carry hands. But a man that started beating a woman from beginning was always a beater. Every man.
Mr. Ron, there's a
No,
man
but
who got
that's not
cheated on and
baggage,
he
though.
carried that
That's
baggage
a
into his
personality trait,
relationship.
yeah. You're talking about. You just talked about baggage. If a woman, has certain kind of experience, yeah. We're not
Yeah.
talking about something that is in
Oh
you.
yeah. If you're talking about
Yeah, trauma,
yeah, a
experience.
guy who has dated a cheating partner will always be paranoid.
Paranoia to the
The
max.
person will always be paranoid.
But
He
that
will,
goes for both
Mr.
men
Ron,
and women,
yeah,
though, doesn't
yeah,
it?
you're right. You're correct. He will always going to be paranoid because he always be
Mr.
wondering.
Ron,
Thorough.
Yeah.
to some extent, I would say yes. You know, I have a popular actor. You know, if I mention his name, you
No,
guys will know him.
no.
He's my friend, and you know, his first marriage is packed up based on the claim that he cheated, right? So apparently the wife was done with the marriage. They don't have money anymore. Like they're not really rich, right? So she had to set him up, you know, she had to set him up with a lady and he fell for it.
Ah, why
Mm.
even do that? Why do
So she set him up with a lady and he fell for it. Being a man, you know how they cheat, I mean, text and back to back, front and back, blah, blah, blah. They got into, you know, oh, how can we meet? How can we do all of those? And he fell for it. And immediately the wife came back. She went straight to the phone and she saw all the text messages. And the marriage packed off. Then he continued with another lady. He started with another lady. Although emotions brought them together, you know, trauma brought them together, not just the love. You know, when you're looking for comfort, right? After a breakup, that was what brought them together. And they are doing great with each other. So unfortunately, this guy still came on the net just because he wanted his marriage back. He admitted to cheating, but the cheating
Wait,
is
hold on, Bukola. I noticed. Please, if I noticed the comments have stopped. I don't know. I didn't do anything. Just keep typing. We'll address them before. We will soon round up. Just send the comments. If you're watching from Facebook, send the comments. If you're watching from YouTube, send the comment. Either ways, I'll still get it here. Sorry, continue. My
okay, she, you know, he started another relationship, dating another lady. And what really brought them together is not even love, it's the fact that okay, he was heartbroken, you know all those kind of relationship. And before you know it, they started having, you know, sexual intercourse with each other, and they became boyfriend and girlfriend and blah blah blah. So it was really tough on the guy because of the it was really tough on the guy because of the experience he had in his first marriage, not even first relationship. And that affected them a lot. But thank God I was close to that. I was close to them at that time. So every day, every now and then, the girl is complaining, okay, because you have this horrible experience, you shouldn't bring it to your, you know, to your new relationship. That affected them a great deal. But thank God they are doing fantastic with each other right now. And what really kept them together is the intentionality. If you're going into a relationship with someone who has had so many heartbreaks, you have to know that you will work more than just someone who is coming from maybe something happened, you know, are not compatible on some levels, and they're just coming. So they have little baggage. But for someone who is coming into a relationship with a lot of trauma, which you're not even supposed to do in the first place, right? But people still do it, right? You know you're going to do more than just being a husband and wife. At some point, you're going to be like a therapist to them because you're going to help them to heal. You're going to help them. You're going to do more than just ordinary person coming into a relationship. So going to what you said, we have people who heal really good. You know, to me, the body count doesn't really matter. I shared on a live video sometimes ago. I said I have a
Are you a
friend.
man?
I
Are you a
think
man?
it does to a man.
No, now wait,
That
now
is
let
to
me
a
talk,
man.
Mr. Conference.
Are you the conference?
The fact that I'm not a man does not mean I shouldn't know how you guys feel. Come on, if I can deal with you.
What did you say? You said that the fact that you're not a man.
Jesus
You know how
is
it.
Lord.
Yeah, I can toss you guys around. Don't tell me that.
Jesus is Lord.
Yes.
How can you say that? Like,
So, I have a lady who dated one of the presidential aspirants right now.
Bookie, wait till you they talk when you can't mute your phone now.
Me?
doesn't want us to
No,
hear
not
this.
be you.
No. Book it
my
over
sister,
me.
okay.
the queen don't die.
Yeah, this girl was a big time prostitute. And yes, and she still married handsomely. She was a call girl, countless body counts, or what do you guys call it?
Praise God, oh.
Yes. She dated, she dated one of the presidential candidates. This president.
We hear this.
Do you understand? So body counts doesn't really matter. People heal and they move on.
Hold on. Mr. Ron, easy
If
with
you are
that.
a new person, you are a new person. You
Okay,
may not have our past. We
okay, hold on.
Past.
Ibis. So she dated presidential candidates.
Where is the?
And she has high body count. So what is the success in dating a presidential candidate?
No, I'm just telling you that she was a big call girl who is into big time prostitution. She's had so many body counts, and yet she's still able to hold on to her marriage till this moment. She's more than 10
yes,
years.
nobody is saying that you cannot hold on to your marriage. See.
Come on now, Mr. Kelly.
Mr. Kelly, how many body counts do you have? Let me ask him this before you start. How many body counts do you have?
Don't fight with my Mr. Kelly.
Kelly's an Ashawo now. Ashawo He's a male prostitute. We all know that. He's a reformed prostitute. He's a theological prostitute. He has graduated.
This is personal attack.
He has degree in prostitution. He's not graduated.
This is personal attack. Oh, Jesus.
Jesus is Lord.
I hear me.
See, Ibis.
The men are worse than the women any day of the week.
Let me
You
tell
did
you.
not answer my question, sir.
Why will he answer? Why? Bring Kobo now. He will open yash.
See, any woman way no want me because of my body count, she has every right to not want it. I reckon it's not one-sided. A woman has the right to be like, your mileage don't go this level, I don't want. And I will respect that. A woman has the right to turn me down because I'm bald-headed. A woman has the right to turn me down because I'm brown skinned. Not a problem. See, let me tell you where this, let me explain. Let me explain real quick. Do you notice that we men, we usually do not have a problem when a woman turns us down for a particular reason? A woman can look at me and say, you are not as tall as I want. And I won't take offense.
You shouldn't.
A woman can look at me and tell me, okay, that, oh, I don't have enough money for her. No offense. But the very moment I say I don't want to date Ashawo, then go say I hate women. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't want to date Ashawo or ask Ashawo. This is one of the things I like people to be open to having this dialogue without making it. That's how they want to go and be accusing me of lying on my head.
Without
labeling me. Thank you very much. I cannot come here and tell you that a woman doesn't have right to choose who they want to. You have every right to. That was what vetting is. I've said it there that vetting goes both ways. Do you understand? A woman have every right to say they don't want to date a single father. If a woman tell me now that you're a single father, I don't want to marry you, I will never be offended. I will respect that. I can try to see if I can convince her, okay? But I will never be offended or take offense.
Okay.
Justin, I will never be offended or take offense. I will say like she has right to her preference. With that being said, men also have right to not want to.
Preference. I agree.
Yeah.
With that. I really
all right.
With that.
In the same, so listen, men have right to say we don't want to date Ashawo. But guess what? Women are more likely to take offense than men are to this kind of thing, which is sad. That doesn't make you a bad person. But I mean, why do you want me to marry you by force by fire if you are Olusho?
I think women are more accepting. That's what women are more accepting. They're more open and they're more willing to work they're not so precise in their rejections like men are. So a woman
Men,
has
yes, true,
you
true.
don't want them.
There's something Kelly is just avoiding because he's trying to be nice. Let me say it.
He has refused to even answer my question. How many
Wait,
bodies?
No, I haven't been.
what Kelly does not want to say. Women look at a man's future. Men consider women's past. And I'll break it down for you. Remember university? Guess the guy every woman wanted to date. The popular guy, the one that every woman.
Never. Me, not me and you. We every women. Not me and you.
They wanted the bad boys.
Calm down now.
Yeah, bad boy. Not me.
Wait, now the fact that you were a child of God in school does not mean the majority of women were the same.
It's not about being a child of God. It's not how we
Okay.
Okay.
Wait now. Majority of men, majority of women gravitate towards that kind of man. Majority, and I'm being general here. Majority of women go after popular men, and that is why that lady you were talking about can go after a presidential aspirant, knowing fully well that the person.
Okay, so I take that back. Not dating. I take that back. Not dating, not proper dating, but she was servicing him. So anytime they need, she's a call girl.
Okay,
so
either maintaining or servicing him.
She was servicing him.
Okay, a rich man, either maintaining or a rich man or a popular guy has the capacity to magnet enough women, as many as they want. And this is why the population of men not having sex is about, what's the percentage? They say only 2/3 of men in real life are actually having sexual intercourse. The rest can't make it into the list because women don't want them. Women want established people. Hypergamy is nature.
There's
they don't
also
want
hypergamy. There's hypergamy and there's hyper.
Yeah, no, I'm dealing with hypergamy. Okay. Women don't deal with men at the bottom table. They deal with either the top or middle. They don't deal with lower men below the table.
Men don't have a problem with that.
But men don't see women in that way. And this is why the men of old were very particular about virginity, body count, and all that. It's a sign, it's a gift to them that you're giving to the man. So you see, we don't do things the same way. We now modern life is beginning to make us shift standards and making us, consider. But generally, and again, this is what I'm saying. We are now in a time where we can be accommodating, where we can consider, this person did this because she had to do this at a certain time. Yeah, we have accommodate. We are now in a time of tolerance, so we accommodate these things. But basically, this is not how it is. We are not the same. A man does not stand a chance. A woman can tell you no, and there's nothing you can do about it. No, it's no. You just go. Oh, you're too short. Go. Oh, you don't have money. No. That's it. There's nothing you want to do. But a man cannot tell a woman the same thing. If she has 10 kilograms from yesterday to today, you dare not mention it. So we have different standards, which Kelly was trying to say. And at least we all agree to it. So let's start rounding up because we've crossed the 2 hours mark. So I don't have too much editing job.
So at this point,
thank you, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ron. I have class. I'm 16 minutes late. I gotta go. I'll see you.
What time are you on, Kelly?
What time should we go on?
You message me now.
Okay. Should we go on early?
Message me when you're free. I'm
all right. I'll do just that. All right, family. We're out.
Are you going on later, Mr. Kelly?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
But that's at night, though. He normally does.
At night. Okay. We're looking at maybe 10 p.m. or 10:30 p.m.
Red light hours. That's
yes, darling. This today to be reading. They say you have sexy voice and diction voice, so you're going to read out all the comments before we leave.
It's beginning.
Just read.
I don't know how you said. What did they talk?
Read now. Time they go. Just they read they go.
Mr. Bookie, they said you have sexy voice, and they want you
to get that way.
Can we borrow?
And they wear glasses, but I know they fit see. But the writing is very small. I can't see. So I know
So
they see you. I know they see you.
Who wants to read the comments? I'm closing out. Who wants to read it?
Honestly, the small writing I can't see.
It's because I told Sister Buki to read it, but that's why it's
Cast
this
Beat
bad weather.
TV, we love you, Ron. Cast
Wait,
Beat
okay,
TV,
sorry. Okay, hey,
I can
continue.
see it
oh,
here.
cast beats.
Let's share the
Yeah.
slide.
I really
Cast
don't
Beat
want
TV, yes, yes, sir.
But you just a baby or a daughter, baby.
Professor Kelly, I
Is Kat
see.
the only person watching your show today?
Professor Kelly, I
Well,
see you. Fact.
It's my supporter.
Ah,
Peter's noon.
Felix Peters, known
Felix
everyone.
Peter's noon, everybody.
That will
Joel
happen if you
happened
marry a
to marry
lady
a lady
raised in
raised
the
in the
West, or
West, or
maybe
maybe
Akata some extent. Yes, me. Sandra Gano, my big sister. So she said hello. Austin Ogbekele, that's a wave. Duale, marriages with low expectations last long, which is true from
Which
experience,
is true.
which is true.
everybody coming with a clean slate.
how
Duale
low?
Bukala, what
How
about
low?
families that have that have cases of Abiku, Akudaya, and reincantation? It doesn't
Yes.
matter in love. I cannot be considering because they are Abiku, Akudaya, and it doesn't matter. That's the truth of it, Mister.
What did you say? It
Sharon
doesn't matter.
Vickers, Value's
Yes.
mother is different. It's a good thing. Mommy's boy slash mommy's is not good. I love my boy. I love my boy like
I
my
can't deal with
boy.
the mommy's boy.
Felix Peter is
Can't deal
Bon
with
Boy
no
a
mommy's boy.
mommy's boy.
They
Bon
have
Boy
type
is not
1
a
and
mommy's
type
boy.
2.
That's the thing. You guys are
I
mixing.
can't deal with no mommy's boy. Just stay with your mother. If you like her that much, you stay there.
Felix is Felix. It is very possible. Adiola Ogunleye, the man that was toasting me, told him I was married. Nice one, Mr. Ron, from your number one fan. Timothy
Hey,
Adebayo of Fashion.
this is my game down that. Hello. Oh, she's gone. Okay. Rita, I think you have to take her from where she is.
Timothy, I suppose vetting is regard in form of a. So you know, say I don't old finish. I know they see a third party such as
I've told you, stop saying you're
Away.
parents and friends.
stop saying you're old on my show. My
Vetting
fans
and
don't like that.
I
Next time
suppose
around, I'll wear
vetting
my
in this regard is from a
magnifying
top.
glasses.
I
But
suppose
it's
vetting in this
it's not
regard.
clean. It's not clean right now.
Okay,
I
okay. Bukola, read it.
I suppose vetting in this regard is from a third party, such as parents and friends. Vetting with regards to character traits and social standing, I believe it's the right thing to do. Thank you, Mr. Timothy. Your aunties and uncles, I don't know what that is, Mr.
The
Timothy. The two some might be emotionally blinded. They
Wow.
fail to see issues that might threaten the marriage in the future. You have a point, sir. Adiola Ogunleye, especially that's South Africa.
African men.
Men find ladies plenty.
I
Plenty
don't
here.
Okay.
talk
What
about
does that mean?
daughters of Eva.
I don't know what that is.
Those are your.
Thank
Those are
God
your
I'm
comrades.
learning all this. Well done, Felix Peter.
No,
Keep learning.
Felix, you've not even started my course. Yeah, we have a long way to go. So, honestly, I really want to appreciate all of you, Paula, Sabuki, Beta, and me, my main person, and Kelly, Mr. Constance, and Mr. Badgudu, and who else was here that I'm forgetting?
I think Mr.
That's
Timothy.
yes, Daddy Timothy. Yeah. He didn't make it this time. So until next Saturday, well, I think this is a more convenient time. Don't you all agree?
Yes.
Yeah, right. So if you're watching and you disagree with anything we said, you disagree to the point where you're even angry, please leave a comment after the show. The comment section will be open as the show is over. Leave your disagreement, and I'm sure everybody here will attend to you. And and don't forget, subscribe. They said only 70% of, and 70% of you people always watching that you're not subscribed. You keep watching. You're not helping me now. What did I do? Help your brother.
So,
please.
Mr. Long, what are we saying in essence? What are we talking about? Can you give us a quick recap of? I know. So, what are we saying in essence? Are we saying it's good to do all the vetting from third party? You know, are we saying it's not good? Are we saying it depends?
I was going to say it. It's so important that you are going to do from fourth party, find out as much as you can before you entrust your life into someone else's life. Find out. Use any means possible. Any means possible. Go to his church, go to his primary school, go to his secondary school, go anywhere, just anywhere. It's your life we're talking about. It's your future.
Go to primary school, go to secondary school. This thing is not realistic, Mr. Long. It's not realistic.
I know my wife's primary schoolmate. Ask her now. I know.
It's not realistic. It's not.
I know. Are you saying love is not a factor?
Love go and find out.
Sister Buki, I would love to hear your opinion on this. You didn't say nothing. I'd like to hear your opinion on this.
Yeah. Sorry, could you ask that again? I couldn't hear.
I said that you must vet. Don't let love confuse you. Go and find out the primary school the person went to. Secondary
don't let love confuse you.
Don't let
I
love.
say, the person why I don't chop finish. I don't marry. I don't chop and finish. What am I vetting now? I'm very happy. I have vetted what is necessary for vetting.
Necessary.
Is good. Cassava is good. That's all I need vetting.
I just say you did from my side. You they help me vet now. Chebi, you said
it's not realistic.
I don't vet what I need to vet. All you people and your vetting, make una vet. Me, I don't chop. I like the food. Yeah, chop. I enjoy my food.
Because of Akuda. What concerns me with Akuda? Yeah, I will tell you nobody can be loved because of Akuda or reincarnation. It's not realistic. Somebody said you will now go and marry somebody
sincerely speaking, this whole vetting thing is from our parents' generation. It really, really is from our parents' generation. And sometimes it's just a case of allowing somebody the time to show themselves. Give them the time to show themselves. Yes, because all these external factors at the end of the day is the person that you want to know, not what their family is like, their community is like, not all of those things. You want to know who you are lying down next to every day, and that can only come with time.
Before you came, I said if we want to follow all the vetting, honestly, marriage will not exist. If you want to go to their foundation, their forefathers, it will not exist. If I have vetted my husband, I'm telling you, I will not. If I have gone to his family lineage, I will not be married. It's not realistic.
Okay, can I ask a question quickly before we leave? If the person hide epilepsy from you and you don't enter marriage, finish one day when see he's doing like this and frothing out the mouth, are you gonna? Is that a reason to divorce?
That one is a marriage of deceit.
No,
if I want to stay with you, it's a choice. If I want to go, it's a choice.
I'm coming.
That's a marriage of deceit.
Love will conquer it. What is
love will conquer it.
Right?
Love will kick it out and get the next one. Preferably one without epilepsy.
I know what. Love will help you when that time comes. So until next time, I love you all. You guys are great. You guys, in fact, I know what I would have done without you. So, and for those people who didn't comment, Adiola, Cheryl Torres, just a fantastic. Oh God, Casbit, who is there? Umar, Yakubu, everybody. I really love to appreciate you all. Subscribe if you've not subscribed, and like and leave your comments after the show. We'll continue in the comment section. Until next Saturday, we'll meet again. This time we are closing. Bye-bye.
He said you don't know what you'd have done without us. If you had vetted, if you had to consider us, consider all our opinions, you will not be married because you have to consider us.